Good morning and happy Easter. Today we're hearing a story from John, and it has some people in it that are some of my favorites. Jesus, Lazarus, Mary, and Martha. Now, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus are brother and sisters, and they all live together, and they spent a lot of time with Jesus. There's other stories in the Bible with them. Now, before this story happened, Jesus is in another city and he hears that his friend Lazarus is really sick and about to die. And Jesus has time to get up and walk to that town and heal him. But he doesn't. He stays in that city. And then he gets word that Lazarus has died. So he makes his way to the city, and Lazarus has been in the tomb. Remember how they used to use like caves and put people after they had died in like a cave and put like a rock over it? That's because they didn't like put them in a casket and bury them in the ground like our culture does. It was different. He had been in the tomb for 4 days. So by the time he got to Bethany, that's the city, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days and in the cave for 4 days. A lot of people were with Mary and Martha, Lazarus' sisters, and they were comforting them. And they heard that Jesus was on their way. Mary stayed at the house and she was grieving for her brother, and Martha ran out to meet Jesus. And I get the feeling Mary is mad. Oh, I'm sorry, Martha. Martha is mad at Jesus. Rabbi, if you had been here, my brother would have never died. And then I think she maybe stops for a second and is like, oh yeah, this is God's son. Yet even now, I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise. And Martha is kind of like, yeah, Jesus, I spent a lot of time with you. I've heard you give your speeches before, and says, I know that he will rise in the resurrection on the last day. And Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me, even though they die, they will live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? And she says, yes, Rabbi, that means teacher. I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, the one who comes into the world. So I'm imagining, Mary runs out to her friend Jesus and she's upset. And she's like, Jesus, why weren't you here? My brother never would have died. And he's like, Mary, settle down. You know I'm the Son of God. I can raise him up. Mary's like, I know you can, but we don't know when the resurrection is going to happen, and it may not be for a long time, and I want my brother to live now. And Jesus knows what's happening. Jesus is the Son of God. And this is another example of how God and Jesus know what's happening, and people don't. And I think it's okay to question God and question Jesus because we don't know. And our job is not to know. And it's okay to have big feelings. And Jesus keeps reassuring her, your brother will live. What this story doesn't say is that Jesus walks back with Mary and he raises Lazarus right then and there. May the peace of Christ be with you.